from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in needing to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And if you're leading this organization, one of the things you're making sure everyone understands, this isn't about playing for draft picks. This is about playing for victories.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And he's definitely a defensive coordinator and a defense's nightmare because his 4.5 speed allows him to break out of a pocket and hurt a team with his legs running downfield. But he really keeps his eyes downfield and wants to throw the football first. Puts the defense in a heck of a spot. Do you go after him or do you fall back? Either way, he wins.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
On second down, Cook. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he's able to find Diggs. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, it's Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Here's Murray, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Throwing is Mariota. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Back to the ground, Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Comes to Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Mariota to throw it. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Goes underneath for Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, Simpson. And it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
Throwing again. Simpson under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Jordan Willis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles...
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go! 1-9!
Looking to throw. Simpson. And this complete to Henry over the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me,
I know
huh?
you like to mix it up with
like
sports.
That. They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the
little bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And now out comes Minnesota. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Mariota. They'll roll him out right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On third down, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Play action. Simpson. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for the Niners. 59 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
On first down, Simpson. Over the middle, complete. It's Hale. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Simpson. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he'll be out of bounds.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 3rd and 2, Simpson. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Bell. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Simpson. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Eluding the threat. It comes and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Now a second down throw for Mariota. Able to power through. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Mariota. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Mariota now to throw on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mariota on first down. Left side caught by Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. To the air again, Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll throw again. Mariota. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Forbath will put this one through. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Simpson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What?
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Play fake. Simpson. He'll buy some time right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. Skirts by him at the 35. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Mariota now on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph able to swap it from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And that'll make it 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Simpson. This is Bell on the dump off. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
We call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First down, Mariota. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A give. This is Cook. And an alley to run. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, Mariota, incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd down, Mariota, incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Throw left side, complete. It's Morgan. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Here we go!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game. One of the premier runners in the NFL.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hale. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now a first down carry by Bell. Room here to run. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Looking to throw on second down. Simpson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Ohio! Ohio!
To throw on second down. Simpson flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Operating from the gun, Simpson. And that is incomplete. Here's Bradley Pena now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Mariota now It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. To throw is Mariota. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Simpson escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw. It got his man complete. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, an even 90 yards. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Gold now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
Let's go! 190! 190!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The Niners on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll go for it with Bell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
Oh, man, that was some call right there. The game in the balance. They run for it on 4th down, and this has been the story all game long. They've been the ones that come up with the big plays when they've needed them. And that last one, that may have won them the football game.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road